All right, I'm thankful that the very first problem you had to do, which means you really understand the concept of volume, because volume is the area of the base times the height, because you will be given nets, and I will expect you to find the surface area or the volume of that net. We had 100% on this. This was 72 meters cubed, so I'm thankful on that. Now we got to talk about the remainders. All right, so um, there were some key words here that required you to use to help with the problem solving. Since the cube has a surface area of 16 centimeters square, so we're talking about surface area. It is enlarged. The scale factor of 2/3. They want to know what is the new surface area of the new cube. So if it's enlarged, we know it has to be bigger than this number. Some of you had numbers that were smaller than that. And it's possible to still get the answer right using our scale factor. Yesterday, K was our symbol, or the symbol that I used for scale factor. And in our table, what do you do to the scale factor when it's dealing with area? You square it, okay? So this is what we do for area. For the scale factor, you square it. So it tells us that the scale factor is 2/3. We need to square that scale factor when dealing with area. So you should be using 4/9. Because you square the top and you square the bottom. All right, we know that the original surface area is 16 centimeters squared. So let's think about this. It's going to equal to, we're trying to find the new one, and it's supposed to get bigger. So the new one would have to be down here. And the 16 would have to go at the top. Why would that be? It's getting bigger. And what number is bigger? The 9. The 9 is a bigger number, so that's why the x, the unknown, will be at the bottom. All right, so how will we solve this proportion? You cross multiply. So we should get 36 centimeters squared. Yeah, you could flip the 2/3 and multiply it that way, yes. I don't, no. I know you're doing that because you have the proportion set up that way. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, so see, if you did not get 11, if I circled 11, just based on we just reviewed right now on number 9, see if you can get 11 correct now, because you still need to correct them if I circled them. So it's, again, it is an enlargement. We have the original area of 16 centimeters squared. Now our scale factor is 1.5. So I can give you a scale factor of a fraction, decimal, doesn't matter. You still need to be able to know what to do with that scale factor to get the new. Yes? Yeah, that's the question for scale factor. Yeah. Over scale factor, I think there's 3 questions over scale factor. One with area, one with volume, one with just the ratio. Huh? 16 questions. Yeah. All right. You should have 36 centimeters squared here. Also, huh? 16 questions on the test tomorrow. 16 questions. Okay, so the scale factor was 1.5. I squared that. I got 2.25. I multiplied that by the original, and that gave me the new. Nah, not this one, because I'm going from original to new. Because it's going to be the, basically when you're finding a new, you're taking the scale factor squared times gives you the new one, okay? All right, on the back, let's talk about this, because we didn't have a high percentage on this one. So, on 13, says that the triangular prism has a volume of 142 cubic yards. It is reduced by to 1/3 its original size. Yes, the scale factor is 1/3. Okay. Okay. Because we're dealing with volume, yes, we cube it. Whenever it's dealing with volume, you cube it. So we get 1/27. Okay? Now, some of you did have a reduction volume, but it was not the right volume. So, I know the original volume is 432. We're trying to get the new volume, but we have a scale factor of 1/27. So, we're trying to get the new, so. Did I set that up right? No. Yeah, I'm sorry, because it was reduced, right? Yeah, it was reduced. So the 432 has to go on the bottom. Because we're trying to get the smaller. Huh? Well, look at your numbers. Yeah. Yeah, if you're reducing, you're taking the smaller amount. If you're enlarging it, you're taking the larger amount. That's why you need to set up and it's proportional. So that's why you want to set up your proportion so it corresponds. All right. So questions? Do y'all I guess have we remembered what to do with the scale factor dealing with area and volume? All right. So here's how you're gonna get extra points. 15 and 19. 19 requires you to round, so I just want to make sure we do that correctly. 15, again, I want to check that you could do find the new volume based on the scale factor. So 15 and 19 right now, please. Oops. All right, on 15, we should have a whole number answer, which was 8 centimeters cubed. And then on 19, 15.7 centimeters cubed. All right, so on your score sheet next to your name, if you got both of these correct, you're giving yourself a point in the improvement point section. 8 and 15.7. If you got them right, give yourself a point. I gave you one earlier because you were discussing. Yeah, I want you to do 4 through 7 first, right now. Okay? I'm only going to keep 4 and 5 up here for a couple minutes, and then I'll show 6 and 7. As I said, if you get done and I have not scrolled to the next problems, you can look at it on Edmodo and work ahead. If you are already done with these problems, you can work ahead and ask questions about other problems. Because after we do 4 through 7, it's going to be kind of Q&A. What do you have questions about? What type of problem you think is something you need to practice a little bit more? So I'm giving you time to do 4 through 7 right now. Yeah, base times height. Area of the base times the height divided by 3. Yes. Where are we at on time? Yeah. Okay, so you're definitely going to see your problems. When you're going to definitely see a problem where the shaded region, and odds are the shaded region is going to be a triangle, and it's going to be revolving around the y or the x-axis. You need to know what happens or what three-dimensional shape is created if you were to revolve it around the y-axis. You should get a cone. All right, so for the cone, you need to be able to determine the radius and the height in order to get the radius is 15. The height, what would the height be? The height would be 8. So to do the volume, you're doing the area of the base times the height divided by 3. Okay, your base would be a circle. So basically, that's going to be pi r squared times the height divided by 3. You should have got to 600 pi. Units cubed. All right, on 15. What do you have on 15? 438 is your answer? Yeah, okay. Because you have half a cylinder plus the prism. So when you do the volume of a cylinder, that's pi r squared times the height, but we're taking half of that, so we divide it by 2, plus the volume of prism is base times height. Now, here's, some of y'all asked this question. If on the test, I know maybe it says round to the nearest tenth, or it just says give the volume. If you show this right here, the 334.375 pi minus or plus 330, this is your exact answer. Okay, if you have that, then I'm giving you credit. That shows you have understanding. Okay, I'm not gonna kind of harp on how you round or how you break down your pi. This shows that you know exactly what you're doing. All right, do we have questions on 5? All right, we're definitely gonna talk about 6. Okay, now, yes. 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 Okay, so on this problem, in order to do the volume of a pyramid or a cone, you must know the height or the altitude of the pyramid, and the height is from the center to the vertex. So this is the H. Right now, we do not have that measurement. We're going to have to calculate it, okay? Now, I'm hoping you need to get in a habit of creating right triangles. Because if I can create right triangles, I can use Pythagorean theorem. All right, do we see the right triangle I created here? Right now, I should at least be able to come up with this short leg. That's just the square root of 10. 1 square root of 10 or just the square root of 10, okay? Now, let's talk about what they're pointing to. This line right here, this is the edge, okay? That is the edge. Now, I wish I had a different color, but I don't. This right here, that is your L, which is your slant height. I don't know. Why did it do that? Okay, so if you use this triangle here, if I just show that triangle right there, this is my edge, which was 4 root 3. This is my slant height, which is the height, the perpendicular height of the face. And I can come up with the short leg because it's root 10. So you're going to use Pythagorean theorem to find the slant height, and then plug it in to find the height of the pyramid. It's a radical answer or a crazy decimal. I prefer the radical. Okay? All right, so you have to do Pythagorean theorem twice. Do you see why you have to do Pythagorean theorem twice? There's going to be problems where you have to do it twice. All right, who asked me about this? You got, what was your question? All right, so anyone figure out the height to get to the height? What'd you get, Kosi?
Oh, I thought you said height.
Yeah, so what is the actual height?
Oh, it's the. Oh, wait, I haven't actually.
Oh, okay. So anyone calculated the height yet? Yes, it is the square root of 28. Now, this can be reduced. Or simplified. What would that be simplified to? 4 and 7, right? So it'd be 2 square root of 7. Yeah, that's your height. Okay, so you at least now have your height. So our base is a square. So you should find the area of the square times it by the height divided by 3. Right? Huh? The area of the square is 40. Yes. No, she asked for the area of the square. The area of the square is 40. 80. Well, the 70.7. It is 70.6. That's it. 7.7 is if you did this decimal first, and then multiply, and then divide. Okay. If you approximate this, it becomes 0.7. If you don't and keep it in your calculations, it's 0.6. Okay. All right. Let's talk about 7. This last one. This was a problem, or this shape was on the last test. That's why you're going to see it again on this test. We didn't get that percentage of mastery that we would want. So, and it's going to be in radical form. So To find the volume of a prism is the area of the base times the height. I think most of us, or some of us, not most, some of us did not give me the correct B on this last time.
Because they got the whole thing or something, or
I think they did 8 times 8 divided by 2 rather than divided by.
they used the height of the triangle. They used to split the edge of the triangle times the base. Well, yeah, edge and the base.
Okay, let's first, what shape is the base?
A triangle.
Yes, this triangle here is, yeah, and it's an equilateral triangle on top of that. So that means you need the height of that equilateral triangle. So this is 4, and this should be 4 root 3. Yeah. So we're doing the base times the height divided by 2 to find the area of the triangle. Okay? So the base of the triangle is 8. The whole thing here is 8. 8 times the 4 root 3 divided by 2 gives me to be 16 root 3 times 4, which is the height of the prism. Yeah, 64 square root of 3. No, that would be a square. If it's equilateral, this is 60. 60. 30. Okay.